Yes, that is absolutely correct. Live from the People's Republic of China, Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai 2018 is well underway. We have now finally arrived at our second winners match of the evening. It's going to be a square-off between B.O.O.T Dreamscape and hometown heroes in TyLoo. My name is Trace Saranthus here on the analyst desk, and we just broke down an energy victory, and now we're going to try to bring you guys up to speed and maybe make some sense of this matchup, which we do have at hand. We do have Pimp and Bleh here to help us understand what exactly is about to transpire, boys.
Well, it's going to be one hell of an upset if Dreamscape pulls this one off, right? TyLoo, the other favorites in this tournament, going to be facing off against a team I didn't expect to see right now. I thought it would be easily Gambit, but Dreamscape impressing, credit where it's due. They beat them on Train, a map that Gambit used to be good on a long, long time ago, so that's a caveat over there. I think this, I'll be honest, I think this is one's going to be pretty one-sided.
Could potentially be. I mean, we haven't really seen the best of B.O.O.T. We talked to them and tried to phrase them as this online team who plays well online, but can't really put up the task on when they come on lane. But so far, so good. They beat, as you said, Gambit on Train. That's a pretty significant win, despite Gambit being in a sort of like stagnation period right now, where they're really not getting better, just like you, Trace.
I mean, this okay.
Thank you, Jacob. You know, I gave you a cake. I didn't buy the cake, nor did I plan any of that.
Exactly.
But I gave you a cake earlier. It came from my hands. Of course, there was another guy that gave it to me. But the point is, that's how you repay me. It's actually unbelievable, the amount of disrespect.
Stagnation, Trace, is not a pretty thing.
It's not, Pimp, and that's why I'm going to have to ask you to swiftly move it along before this is the last segment you ever work.
Fair enough.
Okay, then. All right. That's the command hand.
Yes,
there we go.
Thank you very much.
I'm learning new things now.
Let's talk about TyLoo. Now, this is a team that we are, I think, forecasting is sort of going to be the heavy hitters going into this one. They should have all the confidence in the world. They should have all the tools that they need to make this one work in their favor.
This is a vengeance match. The last time these two teams faced off was, firstly, TyLoo have never lost to B.O.O.T on LAN, but they have consistently lost to them online. And the last time they faced off was for the ESL 1 Cologne finals, in which Dreamscape just destroyed TyLoo. So this is going to be a revenge match, right? That's a slot that they stole away from TyLoo, and TyLoo's going to be like, yeah, we're going to wreck you here. As a team, like for TyLoo, like I said, there are a few teams coming into this tournament where they have a lot to prove, right? TyLoo have made the deepest run any Asian team has made in CSGO at Sydney recently this time around. So this is an event looking at the sort of teams playing here. Gambit struggling, NRG looking iffy as well, HR without Walksick, and then you have the rest. You have Greyhound, you have Dreamscape, and everyone. This is an event TyLoo should be really looking to win, and I don't think Dreamscape's going to be a team that's going to be stopping them here.
Definitely doesn't start here. What do you got for us, Jacob?
No, I agree. I mean, the most impressive thing for me watching TyLoo in the first game was the fact that it had 4 players showing up with 22 frags. Sometimes stats doesn't tell a full story, but when you have 4 players that are all showing up and delivering at a high level against arguably Greyhound, which is not the best team, but still you have 4 guys who's ready to play, and you have 4 guys already today who performed. Trace. Performance is the key word right here. If you do that online, you know, if you do that in your first game, you're most likely also going to do it in the second game. Whereas for B.O.O.T, I feel like we heard in the interview after the first game they won, they feel confident against TyLoo. So it's like 2 teams who both think to themselves that we're the favorites, we should be winning. So often that makes for a good match.
Yeah, and you know, just to kind of continue on the performance base, perhaps this is one of those things where TyLoo really doesn't have to put up their best performance. Sort of like, you know, maybe, you know what, I'm not going to do it to you. I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm going to be the better man, and I'm going to let
No
him
doubt
have
that you're the
one.
biggest man of the 2 of us.
There's,
okay then.
I don't
Look,
know.
I don't know.
Like
I don't know about you,
both
man.
of us, or is that where are you trying? You're losing friends by the second round.
I
here,
know,
so.
dude. Like, don't drag me to this. I'm sorry. Like,
Listen,
I'm doing my own thing here.
You know, the real truth here is this: B.O.O.T are going to be coming into this one as the underdog, but we did kind of sleep on them earlier in the day.
Yeah, we did. But then again, it's Train and Gambit. Like anyone who's watched Gambit play and Train in quite a while right now know how horrendous they are. And here's the thing: B.O.O.T are actually pretty decent on Train. That's one of the maps they like playing. They are the underdogs coming to this, and I did tweet out earlier as well, saying that if could this win be the big turnaround for this team? Can they start finally winning on LAN is a question. But can they fight their demons? Their demons have always been TyLoo. TyLoo have never lost them on LAN. They have dominated every single time.
And that's how it often is, if you're considered as an online team and you don't really perform the same way you do online, you just need a success experience, in order to get to the next level, Trace, basically.
Yeah, I mean, performing online and on LAN, both of those are very important, perhaps in a career. Is that not right, Pimp?
Yeah, it's totally right, Trace.
It's crazy. You got to be a good teammate, and you got to perform both online and on land. But anyway, we could take a look at these vetoes right now. We're going to fly them in real quick for you. Dust2 and Mirage are going to be the first two maps that we will see. And I do think it's going to be Inferno as a decider. My calculations and my predictions and all of my years of studying meteorology have led me to believe that it's going to be Inferno. And you know what? There it is. There you have it.
Yeah, this makes complete sense. Everyone's going to play safe here. They want to just get straight to the semifinals. They don't want to, play the elimination game, right? So Nuke, permaban by TyLoo. They always go for it. Overpass ban by B.O.O.T. That's also a permaban of theirs. Now here's where it's going to get a little tricky. Mirage, the pick by TyLoo. That's a map no one wants to play TyLoo on, right? Not even like Tier 1 teams want to play TyLoo and Mirage. So that's pretty much a given. TyLoo going to pick that. dust2, this pick from B.O.O.T., this is a little shaky. Now, this is a map they've been playing recently. They've been picking it a lot. But I don't think they're there yet, so to speak, right? Yeah, they might have some structure here and there. But if TyLoo, you take map number 1. Map number 2, I'm thinking it's going to be more of a no-respect style coming from TyLoo, where it just like steamroll them, no matter what they're going to put up.
dust2 is always one of those maps in this certain period of Counter-Strike where you don't really know where to put teams. It's still so new that you still see teams coming up with new stuff all the time.
Well, new stuff would be this. It would look like we're jumping right into this bad boy right away, and actually I'd ask you guys for predictions. Not that important. Are these boots made for walking? Because that's just what they're going to do. It's going to be TyLoo taking on B.O.O.T.
There we go. Thank you very much, Trace. You could have just run away with the whole cast there, bud. It's fine. We'll work on your schedule. Here we go. Bulbasaur, the first man to fall. And now B.O.O.T. trying to hold his own. It's Excurate on this flank round from behind. Couple of missed shots, and actually Splashki going to pick him up early. Now leaves d.d in a 1v3. Tommy Splashki, an impression left to overcome. It's a very tall order. d.d's going to fall at the first hurdle.
Yeah, I believe he actually dinked him there through the corner of the long wall, down to 1 HP. That's d.d. Unable to even find a frag there in that 1 versus 3. Dominant round there from B.O.O.T, charging up towards short. And finding the frags, essentially. Excurate from behind, had the drop on 2 players, couldn't quite get the cross there onto the dome of one of the players from B.O.O.T on that A-bomb site. And with that, gave up too much ground. Bulbasaur going to be tagged up early with the scout as well, so the scout duel going to be won by Excurate. And already an even affair towards long as well, Harry, is. It's going to be the 4 versus 3. Splashki with 2 frags towards the long doors. And so far, as expected, the rifles are winning the anti-eco.
Yeah, but there's always time for stuff to go horribly wrong. That's something we can at least take solace in. Over here towards long. Going to be go walk in the way of Excurate. B.O.O.T, quick double with the CZ, backed into a corner. An impression finally able to trade. Scout does a lot of damage, but it's not quite able to find the frag. And B.O.O.T, they will be converting the anti-eco there in the second round, albeit by the skin of their teeth. And now they should be on to continue in that fashion and pick themselves up a 3rd here on the realms of dust2.
Currently as well for B.O.O.T, 3 SMGs in their inventory. UMP for Benkai, 2 MAC-10s for Bulbasaur and Tommy. So if they do win this round handedly, mowing down basically all these USPs towards the B side, are they going to carry those weapons into the first bar round? That will be interesting to see. But already Excurate with the first frag, the upset kill as well onto Bulbasaur, as even without the Kevlar, just the USP catches him in the midair.
And this actually going to give Excurate a chance to make some more money on that MAC-10. He's, of course, the AWPer for TyLoo. Was formerly Captain Mo. And is now more kills coming in. Somebody picks up Splashki. And that timer still has a decent bit of time left on it. TyLoo are going to stick around and look to try and go for this. B-bomb site, infamously hard to retake, but a 2-man advantage, and AK picked up, somebody waiting back towards the tunnels, and in the blink of an eye, everyone for TyLoo falls, but they might do a good job of taking down a lot of the players inside of the bomb site here. B.O.O.T going to get mopped up, and they managed to keep the 3 remaining players alive at the very end, but now the buy comes in. Excurate's going to have his AWP out. Splashki is the AWP out for B.O.O.T. This is the AWP duel we've been building up.
One of the things I'm looking forward to seeing is how TyLoo structure their CT side. Is Accurate going to be more of a device AWP, go towards A long, hold the line towards the A site? Is it going to be more like Guardian, Dupree as well, if he's secondary AWPing for Astralis, in towards the mid doors? As it seems like it will be the latter. And instead it's going to be a three-man setup towards A long with rifles that gain control towards there. B.O.O.T early on, presence towards the lower tunnels as the peak comes in towards middle. No flashbang, and this is poor to see.
Well, they're going to keep on challenging him. Tommy able to get away with it the first time around, but not the second. And now D.D. actually they caught off guard. The flash through for B.O.O.T. That's a quick double and the bomb found. And it's Splashski 1v3, AWP in hand, and the bomb down in mid. He has to go ahead and retrieve that if he wants any chance in this round. Currently this crossfire that's beckoning down onto it, the flank round from somebody. Leaves Splashski high and dry. Gonna flash himself in, the peak goes round, the flash, that's B.O.O.T. who leads the charge. TyLoo secure their first round here. And now it's back to the drawing board for B.O.O.T.
1-3. TyLoo picking up the first buy round there. Excurate towards middle with the opening frag, as we saw. B.O.O.T had a plethora of utility, flashbangs. They could have smoked off the spawn as well. Obviously, they don't want to telegraph their position towards the lower tunnels, but even then, just a flashbang to flash Excurate off the angle, force him back in towards the B double doors. But once again, going to be Excurate early on here for TyLoo to gain themselves the advantage. Only 15 seconds being played out into the round. It is the eco, however, from B.O.O.T.ds, so the impact of that kill isn't going to be quite as impactful as it was in the last one. But so far, B.O.O.T going to be the only player investing into Kevlar. 3 Deagles here as well for B.O.O.T, and 1 P250 is all they have to try and get the upset here, as it seems likely TyLoo get to 2. The question is, though, can they do it cleanly without losing too many weapons versus these pistols?
Yeah, that's the key thing. They want to try and keep this clean. You have no doubt they're going to be able to win this out. It's all about, can they keep the money ripe here on the side of TyLoo? And now they're going to try and run the gauntlet versus Captain Mo. Used to be the main AWPer, now the secondary AWPer for this team. Does get caught in an unfortunate timing, finds one, but B.O.O.T in with the reply. B.O.O.T now has to try and step up to the mark. There's an AWP down on the ramp, just out of hands reach, and B.O.O.T tagging them up, finds another. Leaving B.O.O.T 1 versus 3 over here towards elbow. Excurate takes his head clean off. So TyLoo, second round secured, keeping 3 players alive. Not going to make money, but not going to lose money either.
Well, at least they can make up some ground in terms of rounds. 3-2 as we go into another buy round here of this matchup. First best of 3 of the second winners game. Obviously, TyLoo with the win over Greyhounds. And now for B.O.O.T the win over Gambit on Train. Actually in that matchup as well, Harry, 28 kills for B.O.O.T on Train versus Gambit. And those are the sorts of performances that in best of ones can win you those matches. In a series over the course of 3 maps, will he have that same consistency and that same impact? If he does, then fair play. That means we have to see more of a team play aspect from B.O.O.T. They cannot rely on such individual skill.
No, definitely not, and that's something that a lot of these, Asian sort of teams do elect to do, and that's something we've seen from B.O.O.T typically as well. But TyLoo, no strangers to that either. Both these teams fitting into that sort of very individualistic style of play. That's something I like about Excurate. I think he's brought a lot more of, the kind of tactical diversity that TyLoo were lacking. But in this round, Trey comes through straight away. Captain Mo able to drop impression down towards long. So B.O.O.T, things were looking good early. Now it's turned sour, and once again they find themselves a man down, looking to try and recuperate this. This is a very confident-looking TyLoo.
Confident indeed, as they have a very strong setup on their CT side. D.D in towards the B side. Excurate entrenched in towards the middle of the AWP. B.O.O.T with full control towards A long. And Captain Mo with the long-range angle, they up towards A short, apologies. So in terms of setup, doesn't get much better than this, Harry. But I tell you what can always throw a spanner in the works. Entries like that.
Now the pressure falls to the brains. Excura, actually, I'm not sure he is the IGL anymore. I think it's a weird joint venture, but regardless, yeah, it's B.O.O.T now. Bulbasaur going to be holding close to the window. Flash goes over. Captain Mo trying to flush him off the angle, and Captain Mo is the meteor that wipes out the Bulbasaurs, and Tommy as well. So that is going to be the round going the way of TyLoo. 3-3, all tied up. As the defuse comes on in, 3 frags for Captain Mo, 2 for Excura. The AWPs worth their weight in gold right now on this map. As once again, it is the 2 AWPers to get the job done.
Round number 7. And in terms of cash, it is decent for B.O.O.T. The question is, though, do you go for the force buy into this one, or do they just take a round of the chin, go for a quasi buy? Maybe just Kevlar, upgraded pistols, light utility as well if they do go for it. As actually they're going to be going for an even lighter buy than anticipated. 1 scout from Bulbasaur, Deagle Kevlar from Benkai, but impression, splash key as well, not going to be investing into armor. So should be the lead here for TyLoo when we take a look at the contrast of buys. However, early on, Excura peeking in towards the mid doors, not anticipating the scout from Bulbasaur, so we'll be losing that duel early on. Short control as well in the hands here for B.O.O.T. towards the A site, with impression lurking towards long, so they can actually do something here if they had utility. Right now, with no flashbangs, no smokes, they're going to be walking to the scope of Captain Mo.
Yes, indeed. He's holding down the angle. Run boost about to come in over the top. Oh, Bulbasaur's quick with the scout. B.O.O.T now looking to try and hold his own. Going to get pressured from short, but they just keep walking into the bullets, making things easy for him. This nade not going to deny the bomb plant, so B.O.O.T managed to get away with that at the very least. Frag comes through better late than never, but the bomb plant, combined with the loss bonus that's built up, means that B.O.O.T going to be having a fine time of buying in this next round.
Let's see then. Is the AWP going to be coming out from Splashkey with $7,400? To definitely afford that one plus utility. And if he does, how is he going to be wielding it? Is he going to go for a pick towards the B side with a good spawn? Is he instead going to try and hold the angle off towards middle, go towards short, try and challenge the AWP from Excura? Could definitely be interesting. Or is he going to be more of that passive AWPer where they flash over towards long, they get their AWPer in pit, and he holds the angle towards the A side default and towards CT, hoping that someone from TyLoo overextends and concedes a frag. But early on, 3 players towards A long once again from TyLoo, as they have been gaining control towards A long each and every round. The reaction here from B.O.O.T should always be to take control towards A short, so they have something to barter with essentially. But control for somebody towards A long. And this time B.O.O.T's the one rotating away, coming in towards the A site. They may be anticipating an A execution off of short.
Yeah, that does look to be the case. 4 players here for B.O.O.T. Somebody waiting in the wings down at long to catch Splashkey as he pushes on in. TyLoo seemingly having read B.O.O.T like an open book. 55 seconds left on that clock as B.O.O.T look to try and make this play. There's a crossfire between Captain Mo and B.O.O.T. Flash down into CT, but Captain Mo given so much ground to spot that out. It's one of these players dealt with. Somebody now goes barreling through that smoke down at the crossroads, and B.O.O.T going to mop up one more. It's Captain Mo now with the AWP in hand to solidify this round, and TyLoo moving on to a 5th, make things look easy. Right now, 5-3, aside from the pistol and the 2 anti-ecos, B.O.O.T haven't been able to find anything.
Indeed. Currently the 5-round hot streak for TyLoo, ever since the buy rounds did come to fruition. It's all fallen in their corner. They have the cash. You know, $6,000 for somebody, $6,000 as well for Captain Mo, so they can keep the double up set up afloat for now, and especially as well with the lack of buy coming out from B.O.O.T potentially. They're at the same sort of position they were prior. They've got $4,000 across the board. They can either go for an AK buy here with a lack of utility onto some players, no AWP as well for Splashkey, unless it's dropped over. or they can save this one and go for a full utility buy to the next. It seems like they will be going for the first option, not the latter. So, Impression and Splashkey going to be completely lacking utility in this regard. But they have at least got the AWP onto Splashkey, which was dropped by Impression. But they have to try and work out something better off of short. So far, TyLoo take long control for free. They leave somebody there in towards pit or pushed up towards the door if it's smoked. They then have Benta and Captain Mo basically anchor the A site and counter anything B.O.O.T do towards short. B.O.O.T need to do a mid to B split or something where they show presence towards another part of the map. As right now, TyLoo are comfortable with exactly what B.O.O.T are throwing at them.
Yeah, I mean, not just that, but I mean, TyLoo, they seem to have their reads down to a T. I mean, you saw the rotation from B.O.O.T rather in that previous round, posting himself up over on Goose. He seems to have a very good idea of how B.O.O.T like to play this map, and that makes sense. These two, you know, being reasonably close together geographically, they play a lot of the time, right? They're always kind of the two teams biting for spots in qualifications. Here comes the push towards the B-bomb site. They're already up through that Molotov, and all the pressure falls to Excurate. He can't find anything, and TyLoo so isolated from this B-bomb site, just going to have to save.
Yeah, exactly what I was looking for. I mentioned they have to show something towards the B site. TyLoo was far too comfortable with the set playoff of short that B.O.O.T were doing round and round over. So, now we may have a game on our hands as B.O.O.T finally able to muster up a single buy round. But going to be having 3 players saved towards long. And for B.O.O.T as well, they don't have the cash to hunt these weapons off of TyLoo, so they will be saving as well. So both teams at a standstill. In terms of cash going into the 10th round, the drops should be very, very affordable. They can even keep up the double up setup as well, as alluded to earlier. So for B.O.O.T, do they keep it high octane, burst style of CS? It worked towards the B site in the only buy round they've won so far. They can try counter the double up setup by bursting onto the sites against it, try and render the AWPs useless in close range, which they did versus Accurate at that B-bomb site. I thought the problem here, Harry, for B.O.O.T in this matchup is if they keep allowing the double ops to have effect, if they keep playing the slower pace of CS against them, they are going to be picked apart one by one as their utility usage just isn't good enough.
Well, this time, much faster play over here towards long. First time we've seen this from B.O.O.T, and it's going to be countered well initially by TyLoo. A quick boost. Up on top of Blue, Impression is here. Just misses the timing to spot out B.O.O.T, but somebody's worked his way into this angle, has the crossfire, the bait and switch. He can look to B.O.O.T to get their attention, and then they go running on by, allowing somebody to pounce on out. But B.O.O.T seemed dubious at the idea of moving forward, and I think rightfully so. Somebody gonna find himself too, even the third as he gets the job done. Tommy and Splashkey left alive, and as you say, it is just Splashkey now, a 1v4. Gonna try and find something down towards CT, and he discovers Excurate, not the site he was hoping for. That is the last thing he sees. 6-4 for TyLoo, as I believe that's gonna be the reset coming in now as well. No, there's still money for B.O.O.T. What am I talking about?
Talking about Counter-Strike, Harry. And one thing you don't want to have if you are playing CS is getting economically reset. And that's what B.O.O.T right now face. If they lose this round, they're going to be out of cash. And we could be seeing TyLoo run away with the half here at this point. They go down 0-3 initially. They make it 5-3. They lose a round now. Instantly they bounce back and reset the cash. Well, reset the round loss bonus anyway to $1,400. But B.O.O.T, obviously having 5 players staying alive from the round they won, still have cash to buy into the 11th. But heading into the 12th, they could be on eco. And that's where TyLoo can get to 8 rounds and pretty much win the half outright already. But so far, it seems like long will be contested here between both teams as the flashes reign over.
Well, counter flash out. It's going to be thrown in courtesy of B.O.O.T to allow Captain Mo and somebody to try and peek on into this. B.O.O.T have already gone rotating away. They've grouped up in the upper tunnels, and if they head in towards this B-bomb site now, they're only going to find D.D there. He spots him out, has to try and hold his own, has to try and bite time. Oh, quick shot to Splashkey. surely can't get anything more, especially now as Tommy's made it into the bomb site, but D.O.O.T-ds does everything. He stands up, delivers in spades. He's not gone. How has he been allowed to get away with this? 4 kills from D.O.O.T. As everything comes up TyLoo, it is just going to be B.O.O.T-ds left alive, 1v3. D.O.O.T is hungry for the ace. There's the bloodlust. He gets it done. What a man. Take a bow. Fist bumps all around. Justifiably so. My goodness.
Yeah, to have such high sensitivity as well and to be so accurate with the micro adjustments of the crosshair as he peeks up and just annihilates B.O.O.T, trying to see if they can make their way through that B tunnel.
Well, yeah, we have a special occasion in this server. Impression. We're bringing out the Nova. So, throwing this one over to you, Snods.
I don't know. It could have been a misbuy. You can see as well the B.O.O.T coach having his arms up saying, what on earth is going on here? It could just be, I mean, if you want to, it's like we're trying to dissect contemporary art.
It just
you know, where, you know, the curtains were blue because he was sad that day. You know, he bought the shotgun because he's going to go for the pick towards B. No, it was probably an accident. The round's been reset as well, which shows it was an accident.
Damn. I thought it was like some new meta play we were going to see from B.O.O.T. You know, like they smoke mid. You know,
is that the meta today?
Rush with the Nova.
Yep.
I don't know. That's the meta in matchmaking. That's how I play. But no, it was an accident. They've gone ahead and reset that. And now it is just going to be the eco. They're rushing down short, and Execute's already opened up with the first frag on to Ben Kai. Tommy charging through the fire and flames. Going to come to regret that. D.O.O.T helps out. Captain Mo, missed shot. Has netted him 1 kill at the very least, but immediate trade, immediate round at TyLoo, 8-4. Now the buy comes back in for B.O.O.T.
Had to clarify that.
Yeah.
Round number 13 then, 8-4 as TyLoo doubling the scoreline now being put up by B.O.O.T themselves. So far in terms of frags as well, impression at the top for the terrorist side. Bente, of course, for TyLoo, considered the best player in Asia currently, speaks fluent English as well. Is there a time or a ticking time bomb on this player? Is there going to be a moment where North America looks for him, where he does make that cross overseas? Well, that's a question for another day. As right now, somebody with the aggression towards shore catches Ben Kai off guard. And once again, TyLoo with the advantage, and this time off the back of the rifles.
Captain Mo holding a tighter angle, has an opportunity there to do so much damage. Quick shot on a Tommy, backed up by somebody who's looked fantastic thus far for TyLoo, and Splashki left in a 1v5 doing all he can. And even that's not enough. 4 kills for somebody in that round. As him, Buntet and Execuret dominate the top of the scoreboard for TyLoo. The only man really impressing for B.O.O.T is impression. I think, you know, a lot of this is going to be relying on the fact that Splashki can start to show up a bit more with that AWP. Haven't really seen too much from him. He needs someone to go toe-to-toe with Execuret.
He actually brought B.O.O.T. My goodness, I think he missed that. He's got a little B.O.O.T plushie in front of his monitor.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I know, wow. It's all about the novelty, isn't it? Anyway, into this one. Round number 14, 9-4 for TyLoo. And a 5 versus 4 in terms of manpower in their favor. B.O.O.T only able to win 1 buy round. And the thought of winning another one seems like a distant memory. Bente just denying the chance of exiting through those double doors at middle as he gets the hat trick and gets themselves into double digits. 10-4 as we head into the final round here of the first half of our first map of this best of 3. Which team will join NRG in the semi-finals? Obviously on the desk it was heavily favoured, especially from Blair, to go in the favour of TyLoo. And a scary prospect as well for B.O.O.T is the fact that Mirage is that map pick and next matchup, which is notorious and synonymous with TyLoo itself nowadays.
Well, once again, this aggression at long hasn't exactly been panning out for B.O.O.T. Tommy opens up, but somebody's been so fantastic at locking down this site over and over again. He's able to deliver. Third kill, he's not done just yet. And now Excura in the back line looks to shut this whole round down. It falls to Bunkai in a 1v2. Excura still to find, and a lengthy rotation in from D.D. He's going to hop into CT. D.D. not in position to trade this out if Bunkai gets by. But how to retrieve the bomb? It was peeking out over towards Zong. Excura thinks he has an eye on it right now, but Bunkai has it firmly on his back. And down towards mid he goes. D.D. All it takes is a step, a noise to give up his position, and Bunkai can get back into this round. He's holding down mid, spots the cross. They know that the bomb's in B, but it's going to go down.
Bomb planted with 40 seconds to spare. Benkai as well has the smoke to dish out, which means TyLoo have to guess exactly where he is. And it seems like Benkai's going to be forcing the issue, pushing the smoke, trying to use it to his advantage and catch out the players off guard. But D.D. is just too switched on right now. Animated response from the players from TyLoo as they get ever closer to playing in front of their domestic crowd. 11-4 at the half. This seems fairly one-sided, as after the break we're going to see if B.O.O.T can try and win that second half pistol and bounce back into it.
TyLoo currently giving B.O.O.T. the boot. 11-4 up here on dust2. And as we head into the second half, they look to try and close out B.O.O.T.'s map pick in a very dominant fashion. A pistol round could be the deciding factor between this game coming to a close now or being dragged on that much longer. As we head on into this, we can already see Bulbasaur picking up the utility over on the side of B.O.O.T. And there is his little Bulbasaur. You just pointed that out to me. That's lovely. He's a big Pokemon fan. That is what that's from, right?
You're joking. Surely. You're joking, right?
I don't know, man. I was never into anything like that.
Had a childhood?
Yeah, I didn't have one of them. Just straight into the adult life. I came out the womb wearing a waistcoat.
Paying taxes, right?
Yikes, yeah.
Wow. Aggression is...
I'm only saying that now because Trace put out that tweet.
I don't know what tweet you're talking about.
Okay, don't worry then.
Anyway,
Here's the push down through mid. TyLoo leading the charge. And Splashski spots everything. He hears everything, but he takes a bullet to the dome. And as a result, he's going to have a hard time acting on it much. Tommy from behind the car trying to hold his own, looking like a drive-by, but instead he gets drive-by. Excurate finds him, and now the bomb will go down.
4 versus 2 then, as the bomb is planted for the long position. Impression with a double flashbang and defuse kit. Would have rather the defuse kit and smoke kit potentially, as he does get a nice shot there onto Excurate to kick things off into the retake. Double push towards short, as now TyLoo can simply just play the crossfires, peak in unison, and the round will be theirs. 12-4, as this game should be over fairly soon with the, well, history of this matchup so far, obviously. Won by round 1 for B.O.O.T in the last half, and a couple more from TyLoo.
Yeah, B.O.O.T leading by example, 19-9, top of the board for TyLoo. B.O.O.T haven't really shown us too much right now on their map pick of dust2. Of course, I believe it was at ESO on Clone. They managed to get, I think it was 10 rounds versus FaZe on this map. So this definitely isn't the performance they were hoping for. Over here towards short Tommy. Is only good for 1. The rest of the frags all going the way of TyLoo. D.D maybe getting a bit overzealous there, and actually that's allowed Impression to find a quick double deke to suddenly pull B.O.O.T back into this round. The bomb goes down, and you have to get past B.O.O.T and somebody who have both been on fire. But Impression's looking hot as well right now. He's going to get spotted by B.O.O.T, and that leaves Bunkai in a 1v2.
No Kevlar, no real hope as well, as he will be dealt with ease. 13-4, as that was the 4 spy coming out from B.O.O.T. And you could argue they need to go for another 4 spy as well, as they need rounds as soon as possible. $2,000 to $3,000 across the board, and it seems like B.O.O.T will actually be going for the eco here, Harry. So they're hoping they can fight back from a 14-4 deficit, a 10-round deficit at that, as it seems incredibly unlikely for them to have some sort of resurgence onto that degree. Ooh, but a well-placed stack here, though, from the CTs.
Captain Mo, the Mac Daddy, finds a quick double. They're not anticipating this many players in one place, but it doesn't matter if you shoot them all in the face. Everybody falls, somebody. Double for him, double for Captain Mo. Money made, 14-4. Also, shout out to Captain Mo. I love this guy. You know, he
Okay.
I can't remember what bone he broke falling off of a
mate.
Segway. Didn't even, you know, why has he got a tail? I didn't know that was the name of a bone, but apparently it is. He fell off of a Segway, and he's literally getting like pushed around in a wheelchair
by his coach.
Yeah,
by
his coach. I just saw him. He's quite, you know, he's quite doesn't boss the
He
coach
looks
around
quite
too
content,
much. Yeah,
doesn't
he looks
he?
quite happy. I'm not even sure if the injury's still a thing. Maybe he's just gotten used to the privileged lifestyle now of having the coach do everything for him. But
yeah, being chauffeured around everywhere.
he is a stand-up guy for still playing, still performing.
Stand-up guy, was that meant to be intended?
No, it wasn't.
That was good.
There we go. You know, we just get him in by mistake here. This is what you've come to expect. 14-4, 1 round between TyLoo and Map Point here on B.O.O.T's map pick. So it's all on the line now for B.O.O.T. And they know it. The pressure is monumental. 3 players stacked up over here towards A. And this is where TyLoo have their sights fixated for the time being.
Double smoke towards the long position. Going to be isolating Bulbasaur all in his lonesome. But that M4 from him is super effective as he finds the frag onto somebody. And D.D as well, down to low HP as Splashski chimes in. Ooh, nearly gets a second shot off as well. As it is the 2-man advantage here currently for B.O.O.T.
D.D snuck down into CT. B.O.O.T manages one more over here at long, but will he anticipate this flank? There should be no way, but oh my goodness. B.O.O.T might have just given them away back in to this round. He shuts down the flank from Bunkai. Now 2v3, and they're not ready for D.O.O.T-ds from CT. Tommy spots it, but D.O.O.T-ds connecting the shot, 4 HP to his name at 2v2. B.O.O.T-ds gonna drop Splashski, and now it's Impressions. Last man alive doesn't get anything done. TyLoo gonna reach map point, 15-4. That was a 5 versus 2 in favor of B.O.O.T. Clawed back by D.O.O.T and B.O.O.T. That was unbelievable, especially that second shot on a bunkai from B.O.O.T as he turns around. You know, B.O.O.T flanking all the way through T-spawn, I believe, coming in for that flank, and B.O.O.T was not ready for it one bit.
Yeah, really goes to show right now the mental state of B.O.O.T, being down 15-4 and to lose a 5 versus 2 in that favor as well. Can't bode too well going on to Mirage. The map pick from TyLoo, but I guess if they want to find solace in that, they get to choose the sides. They can start on their CT side of Mirage, but even then it's not going to make too much of an impact. As Extra with the first frag towards long. The AWP coming into play already into the round as the Scout is landing tags here and there, but not quite frags just yet.
Nah, you need to see frags come in, not just the Scout tags. They're going to try and boost up B.O.O.T. Denies the bomb. Oh, a quick double from B.O.O.T. That's the bomb dropped as well. Time bought for these rotations, players to get into position. Bomb looking like it's finally going to go down. Trying to land the wallbang onto Car. Impression even going as far as to drop somebody over here at short. 3 versus 2. Skirret inside of the bomb site, tagged up by the CZ, relying so much on D.O.O.T to have his back. Players trying to boost up an elevator, but D.O.O.T lines them up. As they huddle together for warmth, D.O.O.T shows them the door. And that's going to be 16-4. As TyLoo win out this first map in the winners best of 3. B.O.O.T, this of course was their map pick, going to be feeling pretty sore after that spanking from TyLoo. It's B.O.O.T top of the board, 24-10.
11 rounds, 1 in a row for TyLoo. For B.O.O.T, 4 rounds and 3 of those coming from the pistol, only winning 1 buy round at that. Poor performance.
Yeah, that's to say the least. We'll be back, though, with map number 2 and the analyst desk after the break.